How's everybody doing? How's it going?
Victor is fighting Saturday night on Showtime at 9 p.m. So we're going to get into it and start answering some of your questions that you guys have submitted from Facebook and Twitter. First question is from Julio Guzman. He wants to know, what is dangerous about Josecito Lopez to you?
You know, at this point in time, I think there are many things on the line that are dangerous coming from Josecito to me. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot to lose. But then again, that makes two of us. I mean, what do I got to lose? Nothing at all. I mean, Josecito comes with a lot of heart, a lot of carelessness, and he's a hard hitter. What else can I say? You know, he's a great fighter. He fights with his heart. So, as far as that goes, that makes two of us.
Okay, Alex Valvadinos says, Victor, are you going for a quick knockout or do you plan to go all 12 with Lopez? And what do you think his biggest threat is? You kind of just answered that second question, but answer the first part. How do you plan for this to end?
You know, you can never plan for a knockout against, especially against a fighter as Josecito. You know, he just has a lot of courage and he keeps coming. So at the end of the day, you don't really just sit there trying to knock somebody out. If the knockout comes, it comes. I don't need to look for it. Like I said, you know, he's one great fighter for a reason. But at this point in time, you know, if it ends quick, it ends quick. If it doesn't, then I'm ready for 12.
All right, at Sean Smith 201 says, talk about the Pacquiao-Bradley fight. Did you watch it? And if so, what did you see in it?
Oh, man. That Pacquiao-Bradley fight, don't get me wrong, I respect both fighters. I happen to be good friends with both of them, but even a boxer knows when he didn't do or perform at his best or he lost a fight. And at this point in time, you know, I just think there was something corrupt about that fight. I think the world saw. Not talk bad among anyone, but I strongly believe that Manny won. But that's my opinion. And my opinion nowadays doesn't really count, so it is what it is, right?
Okay. Bruce Nightmare Young says, who's your top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world?
My top 5, pound-for-pound favorite fighters of all time are probably me, and me. So, I'm sorry. I don't know if that answers anything, but, you know.
Okay, let's say top 6 then, and you're clearly coming in at number 1.
Well, again, they're all me, but on top of me, maybe Sugar Shane Mosley's always been one of my favorites, so I love Sugar Shane.
Okay. Junior Siesta says, do you think going up to 154 will affect your punching power? Do you plan to stay at 154?
You know, at this point in time, I'm fighting 147. Maybe after the 23rd, I'll really consider moving up to 154. But as far as I'm concerned, there's only one guy in my mind, so I'm coming.
Perfect. Corey G86 says, what is your plan after you KO on Saturday night, and talk about what kind of celebration you'll have?
You know, at this point in time, I don't think ahead of fights, so I'm just focused on this guy, man. I know he's bringing heat, and I'm packing heat as well, so it's going to be a great fight, you know. I'm not looking past this guy, not for a second.
Okay, cool. At OwnZone915 says, first off, big fan, so that's cool to hear. How much does negative feedback fuel your training sessions?
You know, the negative feedback definitely feeds me. It's fed me since I was a kid, you know. I've always been counted out growing up, so nowadays I'm that Tom Brady that sits on the bench and nobody gives a chance to. And then whenever you do get a chance, it's like, oh my goodness, this dude should not have gotten a chance because now he's unstoppable. You know, I'm that guy. So at the end of the day, I feel very comfortable where I'm at. I get placed in these kind of situations for a reason, you know. And I don't know why, but the big man does, so I don't complain. I just keep going with it.
On the same topic, Esther Lopez wants to know how you deal with being in the public eye and the criticism that comes with it.
You know, dealing with the public eye, it's just like you guys going to work, you know. I'm pretty sure there's days where you're like, I don't want to do this today, or it's time for me to go. But at the end of the day, it's work, you know. I love what I do. People come criticize me, talk, you know, pretty bad about me, and goes in one ear, comes out the other. I don't really care, you know. At the end of the day, it's what I care about myself, where I'm going, how I feel. So, you know, and as of right now, I happen to enjoy myself and my life and what's going on. So I'm ready.
Okay, at Brian Bond says, describe a typical day of training and describe your diet.
Typical day of training, geez, man, it's tough. We hit the gym about 4 times throughout the day, so it's nothing that I would probably tell somebody to go do. But coaches have me on these strict, not really eating diets because I've made the diet a lifestyle. You know, I eat clean, I eat pure, and once in a while I do go to In-N-Out, or in Kansas I'll go to like a Sonic's or a Culver's or something, or I kind of enjoy it, you know.
What
So
do you get when you go to
I
those
spoil
places?
myself. I get the junkiest food ever, and I know junkiest is not a word. I just made it up. Part of my dictionary, whatever.
Okay, but in terms of a day of training, what time would you wake up, and what time would that first one be, and what time would that fourth training be
Well,
at?
I'm just gonna sum everything up into one little thing. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, stretch out at 5, and then I don't go to sleep till about 8:30, 9, because I'm so beat from the coaches that just dropped me off from home, from the gyms. So, yeah, it's kind of brutal.
And when you're not training for a fight, what is your day like?
Well, when I'm not training for a fight, the good thing is I actually get to sleep in. Except when I sleep in, the only problem is I'm waking up at 7. Maybe it has something to do with waking up at 4:30 in training camp. I'm not sure. But 7 o'clock for me is, wow, it's amazing. The only thing there is after training camp, I'm kind of in my own little sick world. I go do triathlons, marathons, and I just kind of torture myself a little. I don't know. I think that's why I enjoy my burgers a little more, like In-N-Out and stuff.
All right, well, another training question. Omar Benavides wants to know, how are you sure that you're not overtraining? How do you know when your body's had enough?
A fighter usually knows, you know, and on top of it, it's not something that I've been doing every single day for the past like 8 to 9 months. I've been training for Berto, and yes, I have been. I've been killing myself for Berto, but there was about 2 months of that where I had to switch it over to Josecito. But between that gap, well, the whole gap, the whole 9 months, it's been like I go do my surfing, I go do my triathlons, marathons, half marathons, mud runs. Like I have my hobbies of, you know, crazy stuff. So I don't get bored, and I don't really rely on just boxing, 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 boxing. So I don't overtrain.
Okay, Richard Cruz 3 wants to know, how often do you get back to Kansas?
Kansas, I'm in Kansas quite a bit. You know, I love going to Lawrence, and I spend quite a bit of time in Lawrence and in Kansas City. So last time I was there, which was before this training camp, I was with Eric Berry and Eric Hosmer. So we're just hanging for Big Brothers Big Sisters event. So, you know, but I do make my way over to home quite a bit.
David Cavati wants to know, do you think there's still a chance you might fight Berto?
You know, as of now, I don't really think Berto deserves a chance. You know, at the time they said that I didn't deserve a chance to fight Berto because I was a nobody, this and that. I was supposed to be a tomato can for him. Well, nowadays, I mean, he got popped for steroids. He was on steroids the first fight. I schooled him. Why should he deserve a rematch? I don't believe so. I don't think I'll ever give him a chance.
What went through your head when you found out that this was not happening? You were moving on to a new opponent. You've been training all those months.
You know, when I found out Berto was on steroids, it was just a confirmation for me. I called it the first fight because he automatically blamed me for steroid usage right after the fight. Me, when I lost my first fight, I held my hand out to my opponent and said, hey, you know what? You beat me tonight, champ. Congratulations. But just take care of that because I'm coming back for it. I'll be back for that in less than 3 months. And that's all I said. I mean, I congratulated him, and bygones be bygones. Goodbye. That was it. Nobody talked. Well, I didn't run my mouth, none of that until he didn't give me my rematch. Then that was not cool. So at this point in time, it's like, okay, you could have gave me my props. Like, hey, dude, you beat me, man. Congratulations. Fair and square. No, it wasn't any of that. It was, boom, he's on steroids. My automatic thought was, I went to the psychology of it all, and I said, wait a minute. This guy's pointing his finger at me. Coach, I think this guy's on something. But guess what? It doesn't work on me because I'm steroid proof. You can't beat me.
And you never publicly made those claims. You
I
kind of
didn't
kept it to
publicly
yourself.
I didn't publicly make the claims. I didn't have proofs, 1 and 2. I'm just not that kind of guy. I mean, if I had something to say, I'll say to the coaches. I mean, that's my complaint, to the coaches. It's between them and myself, and I think that's how it should be. I mean, if for some reason like this came out in the media, and even so, I didn't rip them into shreds in the media. I was like, hey, it is what it is. It happens. That's too bad. I already knew it, but that was just a good confirmation. Now, there's no need for me to go sit there and poke at him, say this, oh, yeah, make all kinds of excuses. I don't care, man. To each his own. I don't need steroids. And my only question to him now is, or just to his boxing career is, how do you surpass being on steroids for so long and then try to climb back up without roids? That's my only issue. I'm like, wow, you just made things harder on yourself, because me, I'm all natural. I don't need anything. My boy here, it's like, whoa, your career's based off steroids? That's going to be a hard climb. So, that's it.
Okay, well, Marcella Aguilar does not have a question, but she just says, I love you, Victor, with about 10 exclamation points. So maybe you want to give her a shout out.
That's awesome. Marcella, you said?
Yeah, Marcella.
Marcella, how's it going? What's up, girl? Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Arturo Toledo wants to know if boxers lift weights. So I'm sure you can't speak for everyone, but what do you do?
You know what? Boxers do lift weights. I mean, I have donuts once in a while, and I pick them up, right? And I'm like, I try to put them in a little curling bar sometimes to try to, but it doesn't. I'm just totally messing with you, man. Yes, they do, but I don't. My coaches don't have me on weight programs. I don't really like them to begin with, so that's one of my biggest complaints right away. It's like, Vic, you're gonna lift some weights today. I doubt it. I really doubt it. And if it is, it's like really light for me. Like, I kind of do more of like, I don't know, light stuff. But yeah, weights, weights. Not because I'm lazy. I prefer not to. I'd rather kill a few extra rounds on the bags and mitts and stuff. It's not easier, but I don't know. It doesn't wear me out as much, I don't think.
All right. Amador Peinada says, how many Flintstone vitamins do you eat in a day?
You know what? I'll be honest, man. I swear, I grabbed the little jar of Flintstones vitamins or the little gummy ones, the little gummy bear ones, and I'll sit there and I'll keep eating them. By the time you know, I look at them at my little jars, I'm like, oh no, refill. I don't know. I just like the taste of them. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I've gotten that quite a bit.
It's your candy. It's your
a little
special.
Weird.
All right. Superman Hopkins says, would you rather fight Bradley, Pacquiao, or rematch with Mayweather?
You know what? I want to rematch with Mayweather. I think we have some unfinished business. Manny's great. So is Timothy. But at this point in time, I think maybe Mayweather would be better for me. But at the same time, let's not forget I have a big task ahead of me. That's Saturday night.
Right. Would you ever want to write a book or a movie about your life?
You know what? It's been in the talks and in the mentions of it all to make a movie and make a book and whatnot. But as of right now, I'm still working hard in my career. I gotta stay where I'm at. I'm living in today. I'll take it day by day.
All right. Question: if there's gonna be a movie about you, who's gonna play you?
Well, if there was a movie of me, I'll probably have Patrick from SpongeBob play me.
I think that would be perfect.
He's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, that would really be perfect. All right. So does at Pedro P wants to know, does your younger brother box or play any sports? Because he looks like a big dude.
You know what? My younger brother, I try to influence the best that I could so he can stay away from boxing and get into like some football scholarship or something, because he's just a big kid, and he's careless and relentless. Like when I'm in the ring, something else takes over. That's him in any other sport, and even in boxing, he's pretty good. But I just don't want to see my brother get hurt. Not that he will. That's just the big brother protection, I guess. But at the end of the day, I think he's got that height, the body of a wide receiver or something. But I don't know. I guess that's not his cup of tea. I mean, it would be if I was that big. But no, he doesn't play any sports. I mean, he likes soccer, but I'm not really a soccer fan. But I'm not a soccer fan. I'd rather play it than watch 90 minutes, because that's a lot of time to lose. Well, for me, personally. So.
What is your biggest achievement so far? Ricky Richards asked that.
My biggest achievements, you know what? Probably getting my high school diploma and going to college, and then also capturing the world championship. But I'm far from done, you know. So we're just scratching walls right now.
But you're able to enjoy each of those achievements and
I'm
look at
definitely
them.
able to
Yeah.
enjoy all the achievements. You know, I've been blessed, so
Great.
I'm good.
Tom Hammond says, talk about your sparring partners for this fight. Did they change when the opponent changed?
You know what? My sparring partners, a couple of them did change for this guy, but a couple had to stay because of the fact that he has somewhat a similar style as Berto. So we just kept him around, and well, some of them, and got the work done. Man, these guys were brutal. They were so mean to me.
Okay. Big Chris says, what kind of music do you like and what do you listen to pre-fight?
You know what? Before big fights, this is gonna be the biggest curveball I probably throw at you right now. I enjoy country music. I was just hanging with Brad Paisley not long ago, and you know, I just that's me. And then on top of that, though, there's one artist particularly that when you see me rapping my hands, it's on. He's reggae. It's Collie Buddz. Other than that, you know, I don't really stick to a whole lot, aside of Drake. You know, so I'm a little soft, but once those beats and melodies go away, the Lucifer shows up. So kind of weird.
Okay, Betty Porter says, what is your favorite fruit? I love pink grapefruit, especially after a workout.
Wow, grapefruit. Ugh.
Oh, no. Sorry, Betty.
I'm sorry, Betty. Yeah, grapefruit is my least favorite. Matter of fact, a little bit ago, I was like, hey, coach, can I have some pineapple? He's like, no, you may not. I was like, oh, all right. So anything besides grapefruit. I love kiwis. I love pineapple, grapes, bananas, strawberries, blueberries especially, and I don't know, tomatoes. It's weird. And it is a fruit.
You kind of touched on this before that you pretty much just stay at this weight, but Michael Smith wants to know, how hard is a weight cut for you?
Well, assuming the fact that I was only 5 pounds overweight about 6 weeks ago for this fight, the cut's definitely not bad. You know, I've seen guys that cut 20, 30 pounds and they get to scales super dry. You know, I'm getting to scales eating, so although my physique says otherwise, I got a big frame. You know, I don't complain about my frame. I'm very blessed, but I even think to myself sometimes, geez, man, I don't have any trouble making weight. Maybe I have hollow bones. Never know.
That could be it.
Maybe.
Wow. Okay, Maggie Smith wants to know, what do you watch on TV and what's your favorite movie?
You know what? On TV, I love watching House, but there's times where I can't really sit there throughout a whole episode or True Blood, and some of them guys are my friends, so it's pretty funny. And it's kind of weird to just see people you know, but I enjoy, like I said, True Blood and House. Other than that, I really like my cartoons. I know it's kind of weird, but I don't know. I just kind of enjoy it. I just kind of do what's there, you know. Other than that, I stick to movies quite a bit, pretty often, like every other day, with some ice cream.
What's your favorite ice cream?
They're like Weight Watchers ice cream.
No. Really?
just to be on the safe side. Once in a while, I'll go to Cold Stone though. Get the big one. Boom.
Okay, Jessica Holcomb Donor says, what's the best tip for dealing with the mental aspect of boxing?
You know, I don't really have tips on that. To deal with the aspect of the mental, you know, things that can be said, you just try to block it out as well as you can. And if not, just smile big about it. Be like, yeah, I'm doing something right. I mean, a few years ago, nobody was looking at me, talking about me, not even mentioning my name. And nowadays, somebody has an opinion about me. So I'm doing something right.
Okay, Douglas Jones wants to know, do you watch any sports besides boxing?
I do watch sports besides boxing. You know, just recently I was pulling for my Celtics. And I know I get hated on quite a bit because I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I'm a Kansas City Royals fan. And nowadays I've kind of change it up a little bit though. I'm actually kind of pulling for the Dodgers nowadays, but it wasn't until I met some of the Dodgers, and they're really kind people. So, Dodgers are okay in my book nowadays, and obviously basketball, well, football, Patriots, and Kansas City Chiefs. So I watch a little sports here and there. I can't really sit here and say that I keep up with everything, but I definitely was keeping my eyes on just recently the PGA Tour. That was nuts with Tiger Woods. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win the big basketball game tonight?
you know what? As much as I don't really want to, I mean, I'm not a fan of either, but I have friends on both. Actually, former Jayhawks. One is Chalmers. He attended KU, the University of Kansas, and my buddy Cole Aldrich, who he and we hang out quite a bit whenever we cross paths, is from Oklahoma. So they're on opposing teams. Obviously, nobody wants to see LeBron James win, but the way LeBron James has been looking lately, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Heat, but he's on fire. I don't think he's going to be stoppable. I think he may have his first ring.
Now, you mentioned the Dodgers. Have you gotten to throw the first pitch there?
I did throw the first pitch out, actually, at the Dodger Stadium. I think they clocked me at about 114. May have fractured the guy's hand. It's pretty awesome.
I think I heard about that.
I was just kidding.
What is that like, though, to be there on the mound?
I threw a strike, so I don't know. It was good. And I stood at the mount, so that was really good. There's guys that go halfway and then they still manage to miss. I'm not going to put you on blast, but you know who I'm talking about. We pitched that same day together.
Oh. All right, well, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions for your fans. And don't forget, you guys can watch him Saturday night on Showtime at 9 p.m.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.